Welcome to Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports, where husky middle-aged men share insight on the latest Baltimore sports news. From the bank to the yard and beyond, we're breaking down the Ravens, Orioles, Terps, and more. Baltimore's best sports podcast starts right now.
Good evening. Happy Friday, everyone. Jason Weisbecker and Colin Moderman here with you tonight for Dad Bod's Fantasy Fix, episode number 3. 3 in the books already. Well, 2.5 in the books already, Colin. Pretty
This is
good.
a short episode if we're halfway done already.
We're getting a little bit of a late start. So, okay, my
and
child.
that about wraps it up. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
It was great. Hope you got a lot out of it. Good luck with your drafts this weekend. Oh, man. We are mic-less. So, we have our mics, but we are Mike Frisky-less. So, yeah, see? I got a pun in, Colin. The mic's not even here. Hold on. Where's that thing that John does all the time? It's here somewhere. I'll find it. There it is. Yeah. See, I know how to do things. Perfect.
Look at you.
All right. Well, yeah, we are brought to you by lots of things. I'm sure you'll hear our ads later. But what I was going to say is we are currently, as I like to remind everyone, partnering with, my God, what are we partnering with? Spark Podcast Network. I'm still getting used to this stuff. We are glad to be a part of Spark Podcast Network. And again, you can find us on any of the places you get your podcast, whether it's YouTube, you can catch us live on Facebook, Spotify, Apple TV, all that fun stuff. But thanks for joining us here tonight. We wanted to go ahead and, as you guys are noticing, I'm sure, while you're doing all your fantasy drafts, this week is going to be one of the most popular weeks to draft. Between this week and next week, Colin, I think if you took all of the major drafts are pretty much happening these weekends.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing redraft, you'd have to be either in a group of friends that actually live in the same city and just trying to get together, or just crazy to be doing it before these next couple weekends. Just a glutton for punishment if you're watching the injury news lately.
Yeah, I am not a huge fan. I didn't even realize it. So Mike and I wish he could have been on tonight, but Mike and I are in the same draft this weekend with one of our friends that's in our other league with us, Colin Alfonso, and we draft Sunday at 9 a.m, which is also one of the earliest drafts I've ever done. We did this last year, but by the time they got all their crap straight, it got started around 10. So it's like, okay, fine, whatever.
And
but
was this like a group decision, or was it Alfonso? I mean, he
No.
seems like he gets up late. So
No, actually,
not him.
Alfonso gets up early. Alfonso gets up at 5 a.m, usually on average. Whether we're on vacation and he comes and hangs out, or whether we are, it's just his everyday life. He is a early riser. And I don't know how he does it. I think that's stupid. I don't like getting up. I do have to get up that early, and I don't like it.
I mean, I'm right there with him. I wake up at 5 and I'm like, well, the day has started. I can't go back to sleep. That's for sure. But we got chickens, so I can go start the morning like a Midwestern farmer and go feed the chickens, let them out. And
wait a minute.
Yeah.
How many of these chickens do you have?
We have 4. That's all we're allowed to have inside the city limits.
How many?
4.
Are they meat chickens or egg chickens?
They will be egg chickens once they get a little bit older.
Little guys.
They're pretty big already, but they're just not
really?
not quite popping the eggs out yet.
Oh my gosh, my wife will be so jealous because that is the goal here. Like, we just we're working on some land, and then we'll be doing the chicken thing and whatnot. Right now, we get all of our food and everything from farmers. So we get all organic eggs and stuff. And of course, we get the colorful ones per request, not the boring brown ones. Those are exciting. And they're real because they're all different sizes, right? They don't all come out like they do at the grocery store with that processed, like, bleep.
Well, I mean, they have millions of chickens, so they can choose the ones that are the same size. It's not like
So
they
sweet.
genetically programmed them to all come out the same
I
size.
think they did. And they are all the same exact color without any sort of difference. They're all brown or they're all bleached white and they all look exactly the same. And they probably weigh damn near the same. So, I mean, this could be an entire show just on genetically modified food and how my life is not that anymore. But I digress. Um, Okay, so just wanted to kind of touch on the fact that these are big draft weekends coming up and whatnot. I have the six overall pick, and I don't know if I like drafting there. Now, I've done a lot of mock drafts, and I'm okay with it, but I guess I'd like to be on the back end or theoretically on the front end. Like that, I think like the top four is ideal, maybe top five. What I'm noticing is a decision that I do not want to make, and I'm sure you could guess which one it is.
I'm looking at the top six or so right now, and it's CMC is right in that area. Do you want to go for the home run and draft him and hope he stays healthy, or do you want to play it safe and get somebody that's probably going to be around the whole season?
Historically, players with 400 touches do not bounce back with great years. And the 2 years he's done it, he's bounced back not so good.
Yeah,
And the
he's had big
49,
injury seasons both times.
oh,
So
it's nerve wracking. So I will tell you, with all the mock drafts that I'm doing, I am coming up with what I do like is that JSN is falling in that spot more than half the time, and I'm just clicking without even thinking. Like that's my pick. And then for a while I was clicking McCaffrey just to see how my build. And I don't like any of the builds that I get if I take him at that sixth spot. Early on when I was drafting, I was liking some of it because I would take JSN, would come back around, and the running backs there would be pretty cool choices. Like I mean, I'd seen Genty come back up, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of a no brainer. Walker is a good one. I like seeing him come up there. A couple
AJ
other ones.
Brown.
Brown is one that comes up a lot as well. So, I mean, the build there, because my theory, as I said last time, was take the best of a running back or a receiver in the first round. And then when it comes back around, make sure I leave going into round two, or pardon me, in round three with a number one running back, a top 12 running back, if I can, maybe top 15. I'm not too crazy. And then a real good receiver. So Saquon's falling in there, like that one. Like you said, Brown, Jonathan Taylor usually is gone. But those are the ones. Like what I've noticed though, as this draft has gone on, usually, because then I'll take receiver, and then come back up. I'm saying all this. Mike's probably listening, writing down, okay, because he's like, and of course he's drafting right in front of me. So I'm like, this is gonna go terribly. I can tell you this right now. Um, but I end up with a lot of the same guys. So I notice that my second running back ends up being Swift a lot. And then my third running back, it always ends up being, oh God, who is it? Oh, I can't even think about it. But what I was going to say was my fourth, I actually like, is Jordan Brooks ends up falling to me a lot. And I'm like, okay, for my fourth running back, not a bad deal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know what your thoughts on, but I'm starting to get higher and higher on Brooks.
Yeah, when you're picking in the middle of the round like that, a lot of times it feels like you're slotting into the same spot every time. Whereas, like if you're at the beginning or the end of the round, there are sometimes like 22 picks between your pick and the next time you pick. So if you want a guy really bad, you got to reach for him a little bit. And in the middle, it feels like you can kind of play it safe, and there's a chance the guy you're thinking about comes back. But
Well, so if you could ideally pick in this year, for this year specifically, if you could pick your draft spot, what would you pick?
probably two.
Okay. So
Let
if
somebody
those
else
two are
make the decision, and then I go with the other one left over. That's Gibbs or Bijan, if you're
right.
not aware at this point. And then I have one pick earlier than them in the second round. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with like a top 5 pick to me is a no-brainer. I know who I'm taking each time just about, right? Like if to me, I mean, Bijan or Gibbs, fine. I don't think I'd have to make that decision or not. But then Chase to me, and then I would say maybe a little bit of decision between Puka and JSN. I kind of would lean JSN personally, but I don't think you go wrong either way, right? Um, I am a little worried that the NFL might do something with Puka. Maybe not, maybe, but even
Yeah,
one game sucks.
or Puka might do something with Puka, as it
Yeah,
seems like he's a little bit out there right now.
that's great. That's great. Um, okay. Oh, the other running back I was thinking was Jadarian Price, who seems to fall down. So if I could end up with 4 running backs of Saquon, Brooks, um, Price, and Swift, I mean, I'm okay with that. I really am, because ideally, like in this draft that I'm doing this weekend, is 2 wide receivers, 2 flex, and I would like to have all 4 of my spots, ideally my 2 flex spots and my receivers, to be starting wide receivers, at least coming out of the draft, right? So all of my flex, because I'd love to dominate with receivers and then fill in the running backs. But I used to wait longer for my second running back, as I've said in the first show we did. But I'm thinking fifth round might be the time. I don't want to go any farther. And I might have to go fifth, sixth, maybe even the seventh, taking running back, depending on what's going on with the wide receivers. Because the one wide receiver I always end up with is Stribling. And like I have him ranked up probably a lot higher than most people do. And I know he was one of your breakout or sleepers.
Both.
Yes,
If he's a
sure.
rookie, it's both at this point.
Absolutely. But yeah, so that's kind of what I was thinking. I'm like, okay, but I end up with him every time, and I don't take a quarterback to the 11th, 12th, or 13th round, and I don't take a tight end until there as well.
Yep.
So there you go, Mike. If you're keeping score, I am. That is my strategy. Go ahead and beat me. Sure, why not? All right. I'm not gonna end up with any of those players. You watch. You're gonna come back here and say, "Gosh darn it!" All right. So what else are we talking about here? Okay. So just a little bit of news here going on that's going to affect the drafts, as a lot has happened this week. At the end of last week, probably the biggest, Jaden Higgins, my breakout player. I think I actually may have used the term possible league winner, out with a torn ACL. Um, what does that do for you, Colin, as far as like what's the first thing that comes to your mind there? Besides ouch.
Besides, ouch, because I've done that twice already myself. But I think with them, they aren't a great offense by any stretch of the imagination. But it does bring back someone fun, possibly from Stroud's rookie year in Tank Dell, as a guy that could, if he's able to hold his own legs together, then he could break out a little bit. But more than that, I think Dalton Schultz is just another tight end you can throw in at the end of the draft that is going to get lots of receptions. He's slow, but he catches the ball, and you can't really ask for much more than that with them.
Well, what I was thinking too was Nico Collins, and just the amount of targets he's now going to. He already demands a ton, and I'm thinking that's going to go up only. I've noticed in a lot of these mocks that he is now going even quicker than he was before. I was seeing some things where if I wanted to go wide receiver right away, I could tap him. He would be there. I'm like, holy crap. So then it makes you think for a minute, like, okay, this is going to get, but then I look down at those running backs. I'm like, oh no. Like,
Yep.
I don't like what that's going to look like. So
Yeah,
I think
like
he could have
hearing
a
that
massive year.
as someone that a couple of years ago made a trade for Nico Collins in our Dynasty League and gave up JSN as part of that deal before JSN really broke out. So that if Collins could have a really big year and stay healthy, that would make me feel a little bit better about that. It still hurts to look back at it though.
I mean, Nico's one of my favorite wide receivers to draft in fantasy. I just will say that, like, I mean, I still think JSN could have a top 2, 3 year, but so could Nico right out of the, but then The difference is, actually, I got to be careful. They both have like average quarterbacks, right? Although Sam Darnold's been putting up better numbers last 2 years than CJ Stroud. So it's
Yeah.
like, where are you at there?
And one other thing with that whole situation is they might go out. I know they just signed a couple guys to fill in towards the end of the roster, but they might go out and trade for somebody as well.
hmm,
There's a couple trade targets that I've heard tossed around, like maybe Booty out of New England. He's been trying to get free from New England for a while now, and if they could send him there, that's something I'd like to see.
He's such a good weapon for them, though. He gives them gives New England something they don't really have. I'm surprised he wants to get out. Less, I mean, he's always been somewhat of a head case anyway. I'm not real sure what he's thinking. The other big one I will say is Jeremiah Love going down with that high ankle sprain, that vaunted high ankle sprain, cursed high ankle sprain. And I don't, it doesn't, I'll start this off. It doesn't do a lot for me. I still would not have a problem taking him where I would be drafting him. So far, drafting out of that 6 spot, he doesn't come back to me. If he would, I would have to consider it, because I I think that if he does play, he's going to be pretty good. And I can tell you from the preseason when he got hurt, I mean, he was what they were giving him uh, was all the workload. So I don't think that changes if he's healthy. That's the question, though. Is he healthy? So, I mean, does it change much for you, Colin, as far as what your game plan would have been?
I mean, that high ankle sprain kind of scares me some enough that I'm probably avoiding him just because where I'd have to draft him because people are still going to be trying to get that hot rookie. But I might flip and throw in Tyler Algier later a lot cheaper because it sounds like he could be getting a lot of work because Connor is still not fully recovered from last year either.
Right. And you know what though, the one thing I'm hoping happens, especially drafting this weekend, for instance, is that people are turned away, and now he goes from going in the first and second, mainly second round, to now dropping to the third round, which now is more intriguing. I don't like to double tap um, two running backs in a row or anything that early on in the draft, but if he falls for some reason and keeps falling because everyone's nervous, I'll gladly take him. That's to the advantage, right? Like I so that's the one thing I was thinking. If the injury causes other people to be scared, then I would go ahead and grab him at that point.
Absolutely fair, yeah.
The other one is Brees Hall has a sore groin. Don't we all? Don't we
Him and
all?
like 4 or 5 other guys as well. But
Yeah. Didn't the fantasy football or who is it? The fantasy football guys, didn't they do like they created like a website based on groin injuries or
like the
something?
groin index or something like that, I think it was. Yeah.
Those guys are great.
Yep.
That's like we were talking coming on of like some of the people we listen to for fantasy advice, and there's a lot of good ones out there. That one's more comical for me, so I always turn it on when I want to get into a good mood. But they're not one of my go-to ones, but that's a good one if y'all are out there. We should probably mention some folks that they could watch. Like Fantasy Pros is always a good one. I'm not telling you guys any of my personal ones. You should also listen to Dad Bod's Fantasy Fix. You can get a lot of good stuff out of that. And
I've
those
heard
would be
they're
my top two.
like 2.5 episodes in at this point, so you might as
That's
well.
right. What 2 3/4 now? Two
Oh
and three
man.
fourths.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
But Brees is one that I am willing to buy the dip on him if he drops a little bit because of the groin thing. Mainly because I think you can replace him in the beginning with Braylon Allen and still get some usable weeks out of that. And then once Brees is back, you can drop Allen.
Well, it also sounds like he may not be missing any time. So this could be something that the folks that, depending on what type of league you're in, may not be paying as close attention. So instead of having to take him in the third, with the possible fourth round, he falls a little bit more, and then you can take him where you feel comfortable. So again, just another opportunity. So I guess what we're trying to say to everybody here is use this injury information as a chance to maybe catch guys as they're falling that might be coming back a little sooner. That's the way I like to think about it. Concerning one of my guys, I had a lot of hope for, but you did not because you said that you don't want the injured player. Um, Sam Laporta missed multiple practices this week, and he's not trending upward, if you will. um, I like him in the offense. I like the attention that he's gotten before. Obviously, the injuries are what's knocking him down a little bit. So for me, I don't want to say he's on my don't draft list, but I definitely have to move him down a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I heard that McBride sent him a message like you're going to eat this year with the new offense coming in, so get ready for that, and then injury. But I mean,
Did it before the injury? Did it change your mind, or were you still out
I
on him?
mean, I was a little bit higher on him after reading that, just like the new offense that more heavily targets the tight end. Because I think the first year he was in the league, he averaged 7 or 8 targets a game. Last year he was down to below 5. So if they can get that back up and get some more targets to him, then I'd be happy to maybe roll the dice a little bit more with that injury year coming back.
Outstanding. All right. Lastly, another tight end. This one's concerning for me because I'm very, very high on this guy this year. I don't know if I'll have any of them because I think he goes earlier and I want to take tight ends. But Tyler Warren left practice on Wednesday with a groin injury. I have not checked the groin index, so I don't know how it's going. But I will tell you that concerning, but I still think there's enough preseason left for like him and Brees Hall, these groin injuries, as long as there's no tearing or anything like that, for them to recover. I mean, I haven't heard any updates on it thus far.
Yeah, I heard he was trending upward as far as availability for week 1.
I mean, if you guys are out there, yeah, I mean, you guys that are high on tight ends, target monster this year.
And carries and maybe a couple passing touchdowns as well. He's going to do a lot of stuff in that offense because they don't have a lot of other people outside of Jonathan Taylor.
Well, and then let me ask you too: the Colts signed Keenan Allen this weekend. What does that do? Anything to Tyler Warren, or more just to the receivers?
More to the receivers. I mean, did they just like do a paint job on Michael Pittman and bring in somebody else that's doing about the same thing? Like, I'm not sure how much different they are at this stage in their careers. It's just a cheaper Michael Pittman for this year. And
it's true.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how Michael Pittman does in Pittsburgh. I actually am higher than him in Pittsburgh than he was in Indy. But Michael Pittman for me was one of those guys that like every year I was like, yep, this is the year. This is the year. And not so much.
Yep.
So Mike chimed in. Mike says, I am keeping score. So now I'm screwed. But he also says you're saying the word groin too much. And I would like to say, Mike, earlier today, I also pulled my groin, but I liked it so much that I pulled it again.
Inappropriate.
So, there you go, Mike. As I'm trying to make sure.
Say that I work with a fair number of people from China, and I know that this is the year of the fire horse.
Oh, it is, my friend.
But that definitely sounds better than the year of the groin. So I'm gonna just keep going with fire horse. Anytime you're gonna say groin the rest of today, just say fire horse instead.
Let me tell you,
we'll know what you're talking about.
Big believers in the fire horse over here in the Weisbecker household. I told you we're crunchy and hippie these days. So we've changed everything, Colin. We've changed everything. Okay. Michael liked this segment. This is a fun one. We are going to do a mock draft, but it's not what you all think, because this is the biggest week one of the biggest weeks for drafting over this weekend and next. We're going to talk about draft parties. And that's one of the best things when I used to live in Maryland, when we were with everybody, was having a draft party. My draft parties and my parties in general are always known for food. So what we're going to do, Colin and I, and we're going to do the top 10. So we're going to alternate. And each one of us and we're going to go down and we're going to come back snake-wise. And we're going to do, we're going to say the best foods to have at a draft party. And if you guys are listening on Facebook or YouTube, chime in. Let us know what the best foods to have. Colin, would you
Yeah,
like to go first or second?
I will go second as I prepare this a little bit better because I definitely read your show notes incorrectly. But I mean, I'm a food expert, so I'm not too worried about it.
I was going to say, what did you think I said? Did I write mock draft in here?
You did write mock draft,
Yes.
and it was after the food part, but it wasn't apparent to me that they were connected. So
that's great. Oh, great. Well, when before we do that, let's do one thing also, like the best thing about having an in-person draft are like the punishments and the traditions and the different things. Like for me, one of the best things that we all did together was anytime someone during the draft called out a player who's already been taken, you have to take a shot. And at one point, it turned into one of our friends, Tommy, bringing an entire bucket filled with fireball shots that we all had to take. So it happened a lot more than you thought. And then you just get bored and just start taking the fireball shots after a while. But that's probably my favorite. Do you have a favorite like tradition or anything for in person?
Like it goes back to around the same time, but a few weeks before that, a month before that, when we get together after a softball game at the bar and watch the home run derby and draw the names for the draft order at that point.
Oh, that was always so exciting. That's right. And we do it. My favorite thing to do about drafts are to do them in reverse order. I feel like it gives it such more pizzazz to it.
There's that build up, the tension.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you're like me and you get your name drawn first or second every time anyway. So.
you just leave.
So
all right, we're done.
If I wasn't here drinking beer at High Tops, I'd be out of here.
That's right. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I will go first. And I'm just going to steal the easiest one. I have two that just jump right off. I'm going to steal the easiest one, and I'm going to say you can't have a draft party without wings. The best.
Is there a flavor of wing that is your go-to?
I like Old Bay. I like because I make my own wings. So I would say Old Bay and honey to make the Old Bay stick. I also like just boring old buffalo wings too. That would be the one.
In Florida, is Old Bay something you find at the grocery store?
Oh, yeah.
There's lots of seafood. Okay.
Everywhere. No. That was like a myth that everyone said, like, you can't find Old Bay. You have to buy it in like gallons somewhere else. No, they have them here. You can buy
it. And is it Old Bay for you or J.O.?
Oh, Old Bay, not J.O.
Okay.
No, there's a difference for sure, my friend.
Yes, absolutely. Well, then, with the second pick in the food draft, I'm going to say pizza.
Pizza.
It's classic. And I think we had it every year at Zach's house. There was pizza that we would order.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't have a draft without pizza.
It's always easy that way. Pizza's always easy. My next one is big sandwich. Giant big sandwich. And then later on, as we started doing these, and then for parties when we lived there, there was an Italian deli that we would just get this giant 3-foot sandwich from. And that was my go-to for sure.
Well, wait. If this was snake, wasn't I supposed to go twice in a row?
Yes. So we screwed this up. We'll just alternate.
We'll just alternate. Okay, good. Yeah. Then I'm going to take an easy one and just say beer.
Yeah.
Beer is food. Beer is food.
I feel like you're struggling with this.
No, I mean beer. I was willing to use an earlier pick on beer than I needed to reach a little bit, just to make sure beer was on my team.
All right, fair enough. I'm going to go with meatballs, but I'm not going to go with just traditional crappy meatballs or boring meatballs. They're crock-potted meatballs with the jelly and the barbecue sauce combined, mixed together. If you haven't noticed, these are also Super Bowl favorites. They can kind of mix and match in here as well. Yeah. But I'm also thinking of food that's easy to eat while you're drafting, in case you have papers and you have to have stuff here. Wings are a little more difficult, but everything else you can eat with a fork or your hands and just move on.
Do you remember when paper was a part of drafting?
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a while, but yeah.
It actually is still a part for me. I print off a couple cheat sheets of things that I'm using, and I just want to keep track. like because there is one draft that I have to do on Zoom while all these clowns are there, and they put it on a board, and I can't see the board, so I have to keep track of who got picked.
Well, they need someone like me who puts it on the board remotely, like we did a few times. But
That's funny. Outstanding.
for my next pick, then I'm going to say Julie has to make some buffalo chicken dip.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I don't know if you're crossing that off of your list, like you were going to take that one.
No, but that's a good one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we are at 6 right now. And just in case you guys joined in, this is our top 10 in the draft. Colin and I are drafting the top 10 foods you have to have at a draft party. Number 1 is wings. Number 2 is pizza. Number 3, I took giant sandwich. Number 5, Colin took beer. Number 6, I took meatballs, the barbecue grape jelly ones. And where are we at? 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 6. Colin took buffalo chicken dip. All right. This is a good one. What else do I need? Oh, for me, it would be, and I did this a couple times, hot dogs. You just make a whole bunch of hot dogs. You wrap them in foil. I don't anymore because I don't use foil. You wrap them, and then you put them in a little crock pot, and you keep them warm. But hot dogs to me are an easy one. Again, something people can just grab and not be messy with.
Yeah, that's a good one. I am going to take the easy road again and just say chips. Something where people have had their fill of protein. They got to kind of go back and get some potato and some grease in them, and just chips, a wide variety of chips.
Wide
I think
variety. That's
I think my personal favorite would be the Cooler Ranch Doritos, but I don't know. What about you?
mm. Oh man. My favorite chip I think would be the sweet chili Doritos. Those are outstanding.
Those are good too. Yeah.
All right. Well, this is number 9. So I think, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Number 9. So I got to do a good one. What would be a good food to have at a draft party? No one else is chiming in. Shame on you guys. I'm going to say Chick-fil-A nuggets. Chick-fil-A nuggets are great for a crowd. Again, very easy to eat. You don't have to do all that nonsense. Oh, and I had another one, but I already kind of used that one. I won't use that one.
And I guess to wrap it up, I'm going to say some sort of regional favorite from wherever you're drafting from. So back in Maryland, maybe a crab dip.
Mm,
Uh, Around here, deep dish pizza. Switch it up a little bit. But
man. See, if I was with you and we were drafting Chicago, I would want like samples of deep dish pizzas, Italian
Italian beef.
beef
Yeah.
for sure. Like I would kill it. Like that's all I want. Here, there's no like regional thing here in Florida. I'm not eating gator, right? Like so there's all the other food comes from other places. So it's less fun here. But
You
our
don't go
top
out and hunt iguanas?
no. Although when I did live in the Everglades when we lived in down towards Naples, we lived in a place called Ave Maria, which was essentially in the Everglades, and there were, I mean, iguanas. We had alligators in our backyard all the time. Like he'd come out, and he's right next to the fence. But yes, we saw all kinds of black bears, all kinds of stuff you didn't think lived in the Everglades. Everything lives in the Everglades, in case
Yeah.
you're wondering, including crocodiles. Okay. So to wrap up our draft here, we had the top 10 foods that we want to have at a draft party. I took wings. Colin took pizza. I took giant sandwich. Colin took beer. I took meatballs, the grape barbecue ones in a crock pot. Colin took buffalo chicken dip. I took hot dogs. Colin took chips, Doritos, ranch. I took Chick-fil-A nuggets, and Colin took a regional food such as crab dip or deep dish pizza if you're in Chicago, crab dip if you're in Maryland, etc. That was fantastic. We did it, Colin. We somehow got through our first mock draft.
Oh,
Who
God.
knew? Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Perfect. So I just want to let you guys know again, we are partnering now with, my God, why can I never remember this name? With Spark Podcast Network. Very happy to be a part of them when I can remember their name. No, they have been great with us. We really appreciate it. Also, you can find us on Apple Podcasts. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. And we appreciate you tuning in. Really helps us out. Okay, guys. So Colin and I are going to go through just a couple other categories here tonight. One of the next ones, Colin, that I wanted to go over was who are you willing to reach for specifically in this year's draft? So we can just alternate. We'll do three players. Um, and if you want to go first, you want me to go?
Yeah, I'll go first on this one.
All right.
And for this one, usually this is not a position I'm going to reach at, but Jaden Daniels, I'm willing to go up a little bit out of my quarterback comfort zone for Jaden Daniels this year. The offense should be a lot more improved from last year. He's that running quarterback that we're always looking for. That one that's the cheat code. The what is it? The Konami code that they say for running quarterbacks. So I'm not too worried about his sophomore slump from last year. There was a lot of other stuff going on, but yeah, that's my number one. There is Jaden Daniels.
Outstanding. Yeah, I actually with that one for me, I was hoping to get Jaden Daniels this year a lot later because I thought everybody would be like kind of forgot about him or thought he was hurt. So for me, I was hoping that would happen. Probably not going to, but that's okay. I did want to bring up right before this show started in a dynasty league I'm in, I did get offered a trade. So I want everyone to decide what I'm doing here. I have as my quarterbacks this year in that league, and it's a super flex league. I have Jared Goff, Michael Penix, Kyler Murray, and Caleb Williams. So I'm pretty set at quarterback. I was offered a deal I was given Jaden Daniels, but I have to give up Jared Goff and Ken Walker. And I do not think I want to do that because I think I'm good enough at the quarterback position that I don't have to give up who I think is going to be one of the top running backs this year, potentially. My running backs, just for context, are context. Kenneth Walker, Chase Brown. Who else do I have? J.K. Dobbins. So I'm a little short on my running back potential. Brees Hall as well. So I don't want to give up too much there. So I'm saying no. What do you say, Colin?
That was three pretty good running backs there. You told me at the top with Hall and
Chase Brown, Walker.
Chase Brown and Walker. That's tough.
I mean, we can start two.
You can start two. Jaden, is it 6-point passing or 4-point passing?
4.
4? I think I'm taking it.
Really?
Jaden Daniels for that, yeah.
Oh Lord! See, I'm not so big as like everybody else on the quarterbacks. I like all those other positions, and I feel like between Goff, Kyler Murray, and Caleb Williams, I can do enough. I really do. Man, I mean, I'd have to revisit it now. Now you got me thinking. Darn it!
That
All right.
6-point passing touchdown really swings me for the running quarterbacks. So.
Well, you're going to do after I give you mine, and then I have a break. I'll look up just to make sure. But okay, seem like I'm reaching for Devon Stribling. I think that situation is evolving into something kind of interesting, and the fact that Mike Evans is already banged up a little bit. There's no Pearsall. One of two things is going to happen: either we're going to see the Debo show, and a lot more, or we're going to see Devon Stribling. Already in that, I think he had 4 catches tonight in his preseason game. He was a big part of that. So I just have so far have noticed in my mocks that that's who I'm reaching for. It's kind of interesting. The other one that I seem to be reaching for each time is Jordan Brooks. He ends up there, and I think usually end up taking him like a round earlier, 2 rounds earlier than I need to. But depending on where I'm at in the draft, that's who I seem to be doing. And I do expect that if he is healthy, I expect big things out of him this year. That's my prediction.
I had Jonathan Brooks as one of
Oh,
the
did I say Jordan
guys.
Brooks?
You
Jonathan
did,
Brooks, not
yeah.
Jordan Brooks. I said that
But
twice tonight.
yeah, Brooks, he's more talented than either of the two guys they had last year, and they were a middle of the pack running back team or running team last year. So give me the team that should be ascending with a guy that had a lot of talent coming out of college, just has had some bad injury luck. I would take a chance on that. And for my third one, Chris Godwin,
Oh yeah.
who is another one that he's had some bad injury luck, but his connection with Baker is very, very strong. Evans is no longer there. Egbuka is, I mean, he's got a little bit of a toe thing going on, which is another kind of a nagging thing you don't want to see at the beginning of the season, along with that high ankle sprain. So give me Godwin, and he's going like 90 to 100, somewhere in that range. So you can reach a little bit on him and make sure you come out of the draft with that guy.
Outstanding. One of the other guys. Oh, and just to clear this up, I apologize. I was incorrect. The scoring in that league for passing touchdowns is 6 points. So six
Okay.
points for passing, obviously 6 points for running.
Yeah, it was pretty close for me, but with that difference, keep Walker.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, nice. Well, then I made the right decision. Okay. My last guy, I would say, oh man, I just had it on the tip of my tongue and now I can't remember it. Who was it? I think it was also was it the quarterback position? This is great podcasting. Um, I was going to say for one, but I don't really. Oh, Bo Nix. I tend to, by where I take a quarterback, I tend to reach over Patrick Mahomes and some other guys, and I go with Bo Nix. I'm very high on Bo Nix this year as far as someone you could get very late. Um, I think also Patrick Willis could be one too. I just don't think you have to go that far in a normal 12 team. I think he might end up on waivers unless somebody wants to take two quarterbacks, which is just dumb. Um,
Oh,
but
Malik Willis. Okay,
oh my God, who did I say now?
Patrick Willis.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
I need
if
to
he's
quit.
playing quarterback for your team, you're in trouble.
I am very tired. He's in the Hall of Fame though. So we
Fair.
have that going. You're like, who's Patrick Willis? Yeah,
It
it
took me
was
a
really
second.
bad tonight. Yes, you should get all of your fantasy advice from me. I am on a roll tonight, let me tell you. Okay. Next one. We are going to do the three players that we will not draft, regardless of ADP or anything. We're not taking them. And then you can give some context on maybe why you don't want to take them. For me, I think it's going to be Christian McCaffrey, man. I think it is. I'm drafting in the sixth spot, and I don't think I want anything to do with him. So we'll be probably skipping right over it. I want to have everything to do with him. But for whatever reason, as this preseason's gone on, I'm very nervous. So that first one for me would be Christian McCaffrey.
All right, and so I have two different answers here to start out. The first one, you said regardless of ADP, so my first answer is nobody. Like if McCaffrey drops into the second round, I'm gonna take McCaffrey.
Sure.
It's yeah. So I knew what you meant, but I had to say
Right.
that part just to be picky. But for me, I'm gonna start this off with actually saying three guys in a row, just because
Oh.
they are kind of fit in the same category, and that is Carnell Tate, Makai Lemon, and Jordan Tyson.
Ooh.
I redraft rookie wide receivers. There's a big risk there, and all of these guys have big risks added onto that relative to their ADP. So, I mean, Tate is in an offense with a quarterback that still needs to prove that he can get the ball to people. Lemon is in an offense where throwing the ball is not priority number one. And Jordan Tyson has like half a hamstring left at this point. So yeah, all of those guys, I'm not going to take them for any reason this year.
Yeah, I would say Jordan Tyson was actually my second one. I don't want anything to do with that. A lot of the concerns that everyone had of him coming into this year were the injuries and him not being able to stay on the field, and it happens right away. The other one for me is Patrick Mahomes. I do not really want to be a part of that. Now, this one could blow up in my face, but even I just think this year could be the year to wait on quarterback more than any over the last I've been doing this for a long time. So I mean, I would say the last 10 years, like this is the best late round type quarterback approach if that's your approach. But for me, yeah, I mean, again, like I said, I skipped right over him and went to Bo Nix before. Um, and then again, you could take Malik Willis, seeing out that way, if you want. And that would be a tough decision. I might do something like that. He could fall as much as he wants. I don't know if I'm interested. So those are my three. So you took every rookie known to man. You're not taking on the wide receiver end, so that's fine. I'm fine with that.
Other than Stribling, but yeah.
Gotcha.
And Casey Concepcion is also someone that I'm like. It's the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be behind in a lot of games. They're going to see what they got with him, but that's a different section.
So are you taking him or are you not taking him?
End of the draft, I might.
Okay.
Yeah. But
so
for guys I'm not taking at any point, I have another list of 3 just because it's fun to do it that way. But see if you can figure out the common theme with these 3. DK Metcalf.
Okay.
Jalen Warren. And Rico Dowdle.
Oh, they play up north a little bit in Pittsburgh.
Right. Like playing fantasy football is about having fun. And I don't want to have to cheer on any of those Pittsburgh guys. So, I mean, obviously, for the right price, I'm going to have somebody on my team. But for the sake of this little thing, like, yeah, I don't want any of those guys on my team. I don't want to have to look at a scoreboard and say, oh, Pittsburgh scored. Let's see who it was. Oh, I'm excited that Pittsburgh scored. So.
Oh, man. Well, I think mine, I'll say in the same theme for that one. I mean, I'll say Aaron Rodgers, but I don't think I'd be anyone's. You don't need to take Aaron Rodgers. There's other options there. So that's like low hanging fruit for me. I would say for sure. The other one would be, like by no means would I do it. I don't want to use any of the same ones that you do. So what's a good one out there? I would. Yeah, let me pull up my little list real quick. Go ahead.
I'll just go ahead and throw my third one out there, and I've picked on him a little bit.
Didn't you give 3?
I've given 6 so far, but I've only given 2 sections. So.
Okay, go ahead.
But the third one is Scatterbo. Like he feels like someone you would see on every single slow pitch softball tournament team.
Nice.
And he's that special kind of annoying that I don't want to cheer for. I get that there are people that think he's fun. It's not for me. So I'm not taking him.
I think I'm back in on Scatterbo. I really do. I don't like I've seen so in a couple of the mocks I'm doing, he's there in the 5th round. I might snag him. Maybe even see if he's still there in the 6th round. Not sure yet. Haven't decided. My second one is J.K. Dobbins. I am not taking J.K. Dobbins. It's too many question marks with the injury concerns. Definitely not doing that for me. And I guess my third one, I'll just go right back to the running back position here. And I'm going to say, where'd he go? He was right here. Hold on. RJ Harvey. I am not interested in RJ Harvey. So Denver, Jonah Coleman, maybe. Denver's running backs, I am not real interested in. Maybe Coleman late. We'll see. I just don't think that is. I mean, Sean Payton should be enough of an answer, right? Too much of a committee type situation. What else you got? Anything else on this on your categories?
I mean, I've given 7, so I think I'm
We're
good
good.
out of
All
my
right.
3 for 7. Yeah.
All right. Well, as we finish up here, I want to do something over the next couple weeks. I want to give who we think is going to finish our prediction number one overall. If you want to just go chalk, we can go chalk. But we're going to each give our opinion here for different positions. So we're going to do tonight. We're going to do quarterback and tight end. So we'll do Well, let's do tight end first. I want to end with quarterback. So tight end that we think is going to finish number one overall. Would you like to go first or second?
I will go second.
I'm going to say Tyler Warren finishes number one overall this year as a tight end. I could take Brock Bowers. That's probably going to be what happens. I just think that if the Colts are going to be good, which I think there's a possibility there, still some questions, but I'm going to take a shot and say Tyler Warren's the number one tight end this year.
I like hearing that. I am invested in that indie indie team as far as one specific dynasty league.
Nice.
For me, the number one tight end is like it feels like I'm being boring, but Brock Bowers. Their quarterback situation is going to be better. Their offensive line is going to be better, and he should be healthier. There's no reason for this guy, who is more talented than any other tight end in the league, to not finish number one this year. It's boring, but it's
Well, and things are going to also, barring injuries, that could change it. I mean, I think like honorable mention Colson Loveland for me could be one that all of a sudden that they use him even more. Obviously McBride. So it to me it could be. I mean, if you look at the guys last year, I mean, like we said, Kelsey finished third. Didn't Pitts finish like it's one of the top three tight ends last year? He might have finished number
he.
one
I
overall.
think he was 2
Two to
because
McBride, right?
McBride was like
Yeah.
100 points above everybody, and Pitts was, I think, two games. He scored like 50% of his points across those 2 games. But yeah, he's been one that's been annoying to watch, just
Yeah.
because he does so much and then just falls off the face of the offense. Can't see him.
Got it. All right. So no, the next category that we'll do would be quarterback. Who will finish number one overall in fantasy at quarterback position, Colin?
All right, this is gonna feel a lot like what I said with Brock Bowers, but Josh Allen.
Man, you
Is
are
there?
no fun.
I mean, when you say pick the number one, I'm gonna go with the highest probability. If there was said pick somebody outside the top 5 that could be number one, then it could be more fun. But just out of anyone, give me the guy that's always in that top 3.
Okay. Well, I'm going to throw you for a loop after this one because we have a minute or two. I'm going to go to a limb. I'm going to say Drake May finishes number one overall. He was pretty darn close last year. So for me, his game has evolved and changed. So there's no reason why I don't think he could do it. I mean, obviously you got sharp competition. You got to leap over. So I think Lamar has a good comeback year. That is one of the guys. So if you guys are looking, obviously the top 5 or 6 quarterbacks out there are good. And then any quarterbacks with legs that work to run in the games and pick up extra yards and score. That's who you want when you're taking shots on these quarterbacks if you're not taking all the big boys. So tell me then, let's pick it. We'll each pick, and I'll go first. So outside the top, I don't know, outside the top 5, if you want to go farther, who do you think will break in to the top 5 or higher this year? Um,
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead. I'll go first so you can think because I know I threw you for a loop. I'm going to read you the top 10 that I have, and you can tell me if it's with you. I have Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Caleb Williams, Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, and Dak Prescott. So who could jump from outside of the top 10 into the top 5? I'm saying this year it could be. I actually have 2 guys, but I'll first go with Jackson Dart. I think Jackson Dart could jump into the top 5 if his head stays on and he doesn't have massive concussion issues.
I am going to go way outside of the top 10 and say Kyler Murray. He's another one that's got the legs to do it. He's one of the most exciting quarterbacks to watch run the ball because when he's running around, you can't always find him on the screen. He's a little guy, but he's into an offense now with what everybody says is an offensive genius and Justin Jefferson, and he's got a couple running backs that aren't like top notch, but they're going to get the job done. They'll catch the ball. So yeah, let me say Kyler Murray could be a sleeper candidate to get back into the top 5. He's been there a few times before.
Yeah, I mean, I hope you're like. Part of me wishes you're right. I don't know. I'm not sold on it yet. I haven't gotten a lot of really good reports out of preseason yet that give me the warm and toasty feeling. My other guy I was thinking, I said him earlier, was Bo Nix. I think he could make a run down into the top 5 if all the injury stuff cleared up. And then, I mean, with Sean Payton, he just seems to make everyone better around him as a coach, puts people in the right positions. Did you have anybody else you thought of, or is that about it?
I mean, I think Dak was outside of your top 10, but he could be up there again.
I had Dak number 10.
Okay.
Number 10. How about Purdy? Do we feel good about Purdy, or are we just worried about everything around him out there?
I do feel really good about Purdy. I had him lined up for another segment we're not going to get to, but Purdy is one that I'm trying to walk out of drafts with that guy as much as I can this year.
All right. Very good. Last question of the evening. This should just be quick. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. What do drafters need to know going into the big draft weekends? You're not going to say fun again, are you?
Gotta have fun, guys. No. Number one thing is you have to know when the draft starts. Don't be that guy that is like, oh, I'm almost there, and you're 30 minutes away. Because nobody likes that guy.
That's right. And I mean, that has been me before, unfortunately, for unforeseen circumstances. It's only happened once for me, unless it's at my house.
That's
and then
probably
I
why
make
you
the
started having it at your house, so you couldn't be that guy.
That's right.
I know your tricks.
When we did our dynasty draft, right before I moved to Florida, had to go pick up all the food, and I was late to her, and everyone's sitting in my kitchen. I'm like, "Hi guys, hey." But let's see. So for me, I say make sure you have the right spread, guys. Like that was the theme tonight. Have fun. No. Make sure you have the right spread, and that you're having a good time with it. The one other thing I wanted to mention, and then we'll get going here so we don't hold everyone all night. I'm in this league where, you know what I cannot stand? Commissioners that feel like they have to be so involved that they micromanage their way through this. I'm in this one league where I feel like the commissioner doesn't want, like, he wants to be everyone's friend. So he doesn't want to have to make hard decisions. So there's a 3-day trade veto rule. Now, first of all, in redraft, it's incredibly hard to do a trade, right? But there's a veto rule, and we have to wait 3 days. And I've tried to talk to him about this, and he's like, I just don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. I'm like, well, how about you give someone else the power just to click it and say, I accept? Like, if people want to make stupid decisions, let them make dumb decisions. But if we're in week 11 and someone's 0-10 and someone is in 3rd place or 5th place trying to make the playoffs, and there's a trade that happens between the 0-11 and the 5th place team, that's not allowed because it's impossible for the 0-11 team to make the playoffs. So they're not trading. That's the collusion.
One thing I like about Sleeper is I can set it so that trades just automatically go through. I don't have to be the guy that pushes the button. I'm happy to be the guy that says, hey, what the hell, guys, and stops it and reverses it. But 99% of the time, it's just like, oh, cool, a trade happened. I'm happy to see that.
There's only one reason to do it, and it's collusion, obviously. Or And you know, I've only rejected one trade as a commissioner once because it was ridiculous, and I think there was collusion going on. And it turned out that it was. So, but unfortunately, it was a co-commissioner, and the other commissioner was the guy that did. I was like, dude, you've really just made this really hard.
Yeah,
But
about 4 or 5 years ago, I almost had to reverse one in our league. No, I'm just messing around. It was
oh,
this is
stop it. Okay, I got to tell this story. I got to tell
oh my
it.
gosh.
So,
I completely believe your side because the other guy, I talked to him in messages way too much, and I knew what he was.
well, so this one was bad, like because I didn't want, like, I had the number one overall pick in Dynasty that year, and I was trying to give it up to whoever wanted it. But I was like, okay, because it was the year Bijan Robinson was coming out. And I just said, okay, like if you whoever wants it. And I told him, I was like, look, man, it's going to cost you a ton. And he had multiple first round picks and he had all this stuff. And I just finally was like, um, but the thing was, I had text messages that I showed you and I sent them to you because I'm like, look, man, even before he did it, I said, I don't know if we should do this, but like, this is where he's at. And you're like, yeah, I mean, he said that and everyone got mad, but I'm like, dude, like this, what am I supposed to do? If you were in that position, what would you do is what I asked people. And it's like, so it was Bijan Robinson for the number 2 overall pick and 2 other
Jameer
first round
Gibbs, by the
picks,
way.
who I then turned into Jameer Gibbs.
Yeah.
And then I think Quentin Johnson was the other one. No, I don't remember.
Yeah, I think he was part of that one as well.
Yeah, and then I ended up. Did I have another pick? It was like 3 firsts.
He also
And
gave
the
you
next year?
first for the next year,
Yeah.
which turned into, I think.
Did I keep it? I might have traded it.
No, you kept it for a while, and luckily, no, it was
I don't know.
the Arizona receiver.
Oh, Marvin Harrison. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I remember.
I had the
now.
number 2 and got Malik as a fallback. Yeah.
Crap. So and then I ended up. I think I got a 3rd round. Did I get a 3rd round from him? I don't remember. No, I didn't.
You sent back like a nobody too, like as part of it. That just made everybody
He asked for
shake their heads. Yeah, it was like okay.
Yeah, I mean, I told him if he wanted it was going to be a haul because he was in love with Bijan. So I guess the moral of this story is, guys, like if people want to be dumb and we're grown ass humans here that play this game, so let them make. Yeah, we're at the explicit, but we get the. I mean, you make your own decisions, right? And the only time it should be vetoed is when there's collusion involved. And there was clearly not collusion on that one. But it did upset some people. I think some have finally got over it. We'll see. Maybe not. I don't know if you're out there, Scuba Steve Sweeney, if you will get over it. You seem to still bring it up as you're very upset. As well as friend of the show, Jim Isfording, you were also very upset. But yep. I won 2 years in a row. So that was a big part of it. I also ended up getting Sam Laporta that year, but that wasn't part of that trade. That was just, I think I traded Waller for the 3rd round pick that I ended up getting Laporta that year. So
I think he was a late second.
Yeah,
I know because I took Kincaid in the late 1st. I should have just stuck it out and waited for the Iowa guy.
Outstanding. Well, that's shame on you. You know, you betrayed your people. All right. Well, that is about it. That is all we have here today. Again, we are part of the Spark Podcast Network. Thank you guys for joining us. We will be back here next week at the same time. At least one of us will, probably both of us, but we'll see. I'm only stalling because I'm looking for the right thing. There we go. Got it. All right, guys. For Colin Moderman, I'm Jason Weisbecker. This has been Dad Bod's Fantasy Fix. Y'all have a great night.
Don't forget to subscribe to Dad Bod's Crab Cakes and Sports on Red Circle, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you get your free podcasts. And while you're at it, leave us a review. It really helps us out. We're we're trying to spread the good word about Baltimore sports far and wide. Follow us on social media for more behind-the-scenes actions, memes, and bad sports takes. You can find us at Dad Bods Crab Cakes and Sports on Instagram, and Dad Bods Crab Cakes and Sports on our Facebook page. Until next time, keep rocking those dad bods, eating those crab cakes, and never miss the game.